The medical
Hold
bay
still. I'm
aboard the
stabilizing
transport
you.
vessel
I can feel it
hummed
working.
with its usual
Almost there.
sterile
You're safe.
efficiency.
Thank you.
Dr. Marcus
The energy
Webb
is stabilizing.
sat
Hold
at his
still.
station,
I can feel it.
reviewing
It's working.
scan results
Good.
from the
Almost
latest batch
done.
of
Thank you.
passengers when the
Its
emergency
energy is
alert
awakening.
chimed.
Yes, it
A
calls
crash
to
had
us.
occurred
We must
3
proceed.
sectors away. Survivors needed immediate attention. Marcus grabbed his field kit and rushed to the docking bay, where the
Hold
rescue
still.
shuttle
Administering the
was
stabilizer.
already
The pain
warming
is
up.
subsiding.
He climbed
Good.
aboard
Stay with me.
alongside
I will
2
endure.
security officers
Come
and
back
the
to me.
pilot. The
I can
journey
hear
took
you.
only minutes,
You're safe
but those minutes felt stretched thin with anticipation. When they arrived at the crash site, debris floated in scattered patterns across the void. The wreckage of a small craft tumbled slowly, its hull breached in multiple places. The pilot maneuvered carefully, scanning for life signs. "Got one," the pilot announced. Faint but steady, preparing for retrieval. The security team deployed, using magnetic tethers to pull themselves toward the damaged vessel. Marcus watched through the viewport as they disappeared into the wreckage. Several tense moments passed before they emerged, carrying a figure between them. Back aboard the shuttle, Marcus got his first proper look at the survivor. She was tall, easily 7 feet, with deep violet skin that seemed to shimmer even under the harsh emergency lighting. Her frame was powerfully built, muscles defined beneath what appeared to be some kind of ceremonial armor, now cracked and broken. 4 arms hung limply at her sides, and her breathing came in shallow gasps. "Get her to the medbay immediately," Marcus ordered. The shuttle rocketed back toward the transport vessel. Marcus worked quickly, running preliminary scans with his portable equipment. Multiple fractures, internal bleeding, severe dehydration. The woman was in critical condition, but her vital signs suggested a robust physiology. She might survive if he acted fast. Once aboard the transport, Marcus had her transferred to the main medical facility. He called in his assistant, a young technician named David, and together they began the delicate work of stabilization. "I have never seen this species before," David said, studying the readouts. "The database has no match." "Then we treat her like any other patient," Marcus replied. "Universal protocols. Stop the bleeding, repair the damage, keep her alive." He worked through the night. The woman's biology was strange, but not incomprehensible. Her blood carried oxygen through a copper-based system rather than iron, giving it a greenish hue. Her bones were denser than human bones, reinforced with what appeared to be natural metallic compounds. Her organs were arranged differently, but their functions were recognizable. Marcus repaired the internal damage first, using surgical nanits to seal torn blood vessels and mend ruptured tissues. He set the broken bones with regenerative splints that would accelerate healing. He administered broad-spectrum antibiotics modified for alien physiology and hung bags of synthesized plasma that matched her blood chemistry as closely as possible. By dawn, her condition had stabilized. Marcus sat back, exhausted but satisfied. The woman would live. Over the following days, she remained unconscious while her body healed. Marcus checked on her regularly, adjusting treatments as needed. He found himself curious about her. The armor she wore was of exceptional quality, engraved with intricate patterns that suggested high rank or significant achievement. The metal itself was unknown to him, harder than anything in the transport's database. On the 4th day, she opened her eyes. Marcus happened to be in the room, reviewing her charts. He noticed the change in her breathing pattern first, and saw her eyelids flutter. Her eyes were golden, with vertical pupils that contracted sharply in the light. "Easy," Marcus said gently. "You are safe. You were in an accident. Do you understand me?" The woman stared at him for a long moment. Then she spoke, her voice rough from disuse but clear. The translation software in the medical bay processed her words instantly. "Where am I?" "Transport vessel Nova Runner. You crashed. We brought you here. I am Dr. Marcus Webb." She tried to sit up but winced at the pain. Marcus moved to help her, but she raised one hand to stop him. Slowly, carefully, she pushed herself into a seated position. Her forearms moved independently, each testing its range of motion. How long? 4 days. You were badly injured. Multiple fractures. Internal bleeding. You are lucky to be alive. The woman looked down at herself, taking inventory of the medical equipment attached to her body. The regenerative splints glowed faintly on her arms and legs. Monitoring patches covered her torso. You repaired me. That is my job. She turned her golden gaze on him fully. Marcus felt the weight of that stare, as if she were measuring him somehow, assessing something beyond the surface. You do not know who I am. Marcus shrugged. A patient. That is all I need to know. Something flickered across her face. Surprise, perhaps. Or amusement. What is your name? Marcus asked. Kira. Well, Kira, you need to rest. Your body is still healing. No sudden movements, no stress on the bones. I will have food brought. Do you have any dietary restrictions I should know about? She tilted her head slightly. You truly do not know. Know what? Nothing. Protein-based foods are acceptable. Over the next week, Kira recovered with remarkable speed. Her physiology was extraordinarily resilient. Bones that should have taken months to heal were solid within days. Her strength returned rapidly, though Marcus insisted she take things slowly. She was a quiet patient, speaking little, but observing everything. Marcus got the sense she was used to being alone, comfortable with silence. He respected that, checking on her without unnecessary chatter, providing what she needed without fuss. On the 8th day, David burst into Marcus's office with news. You need to see this, the young technician said, pulling up a holographic display. I finally got a match on our patient. The display showed a news article, dated several months prior. The headline read, Warrior Queen Kira defeats champion of the Vrax Empire in single combat. Marcus leaned forward, reading quickly. The article detailed a conflict between two powerful alien civilizations, resolved not through war, but through ritual combat. One side had sent their greatest warrior. The other had sent Kira. She had won decisively. More articles followed. Images of Kira standing victorious in great arenas. Accounts of battles where she had turned the tide single-handedly. Reports of peace treaties signed because of her victories. She was not just a warrior. She was a legend, known across dozens of systems as the most formidable fighter in the galaxy. Does she know that you know? David asked. Marcus shook his head slowly. I have been treating her like any other patient. She is royalty. A queen, the strongest warrior alive, according to these reports. Should we inform the captain? This could be a diplomatic situation. Marcus thought about that. He thought about Kira, sitting quietly in the medical bay, recovering from her injuries without complaint or demand. He thought about the way she had looked at him when she realized he did not know who she was. No, Marcus said finally. She is a patient. That has not changed. David looked skeptical, but nodded. If you say so, Doctor. Marcus returned to the medical bay. Kira was standing by the viewport, looking out at the stars. The regenerative splints were gone now, her body healed enough to function without them. She had changed out of the medical gown into simple clothes provided by the ship's stores. Even in plain garments, she carried herself with unmistakable power. You are looking better, Marcus observed. I am nearly recovered. Your treatment was effective. Good. You will be able to leave soon. Where were you headed when you crashed? Nowhere in particular. I was traveling between assignments. Marcus joined her at the viewport. Those must be interesting assignments. They are necessary. They stood in silence for a moment. Thank you, Kira said quietly, for treating me as you did. I do not understand. She turned to face him. You did not bow. You did not seek favor. You did not treat me differently. You simply did your job. Marcus met her golden eyes. Should I have done something different? A slight smile crossed her face. No, that is precisely why I am thanking you. The transport vessel reached the next station 2 days later. Kira prepared to depart. Marcus gave her final clearance, confirming that she had healed completely. You are cleared for normal activity, he said, though I recommend avoiding any spaceship crashes for a while. That earned a genuine smile. I will keep that in mind. She paused at the door of the medical bay. If you ever find yourself in need of assistance, Dr. Marcus Webb, send word to the Outer Rim territories. Ask for me by name. Someone will find me. I will remember that. She nodded once, a gesture of respect, then left. Marcus watched her go. This warrior queen, who had let him treat her without ceremony or complication. He suspected few people in the galaxy could say they had done the same. David appeared at his shoulder. Think she meant that? About helping you? Marcus smiled. I think when someone like that makes a promise, she keeps it. Outside, Kira boarded a small personal craft that had arrived to collect her. Through the viewport, Marcus saw her take the pilot's seat with easy confidence. The craft powered up and shot away into the black, disappearing among the stars. Marcus returned to his work. There were always more patients, more injuries to treat, more lives to save. That was the job. That was what mattered. He never told anyone about treating the warrior queen. It seemed unnecessary. She had been a patient who needed help. He had provided it. Simple as that, but some